Welcome back to my channel. My name is Blair if you're new here, and today we're going to discuss two things. I'm sure you know it's that time of year. We're creeping into fall and ultimately the holiday season in general. So I'm going to talk to you about my fall bucket list, the things that I have on it that I'd like to do, and then also talk a little bit about my plan for Christmas season and how I kind of prepare for it in advance so that way I can enjoy the actual season. So I've written most of this up and I just want to show it to you. Or not show it to you, but explain it to you. So fall bucket list, you're going to see this the very end of August, and obviously we're going to be switching gears into fall. So I want to talk about this part first. So my fall bucket list is going to be the things I'd like to do in the month of September, hopefully. I usually write like another one kind of around Halloween. But so there's three components of my fall bucket list. There's movies I want to watch, snacks that I'd like to bake, and then activities I'd like to do. So for movies, some of these are pretty classics. Mystic Pizza, Mermaids, Casablanca, The Blind Side, Sweet Home Alabama, and then I also have Pumpkin Pie Wars on here, which is a Hallmark movie that I just love. It came out years ago and I rewatch it like a million times every season. So those are the movies. Snacks. Oh, and I will say the beauty of having an actual list of movies is that on those weekends or nights when you don't know what you want to watch, you can kind of just work off your list. So for snacks, I've made it a few years ago. Here comes the puppy. Sorry, I know his nails need to be trimmed. So pumpkin fluff is something really easy to make. It's literally like pumpkin, Cool Whip, and pudding mix, I think. Anyway, so the pumpkin fluff then you eat with like graham crackers or the mini Nilla wafers. And it's just been a long time since I've made it, so I really wanted to do that this year. I also want to make apple butter. It's been a few years since I made that, and it was so good and just perfect to have like on hand in the freezer for fall. And then I was debating between an apple pound cake recipe I found on Pinterest or an apple cinnamon bread, because I always like to try to make one new recipe. I think I've decided I want to go with the apple cinnamon bread this time. So we're going to do that as our treat. And then for activities, one of them that I'd like to do, I don't think I did it last year, but there's a farm not too far from me that does apple picking. So I will probably go apple picking, and then the apples I get, I'll make the apple butter and then maybe a apple crisp and then save the bread for later. Because you get so many apples when you go to the farm, because it's based on filling a bag, it just makes sense to make the apple butter at that point. There's this Crowder Mountain, they call it, down near Gastonia area that I like to go hiking. I really want to go. I wish you could go when there was more like leaves changing, but the season just does not turn over like that down here. And then on top of that, the last time I went, I took the dog, and it's like a 5-mile hike. I honestly don't know if he's physically capable of that anymore after all the treatments and the rough times we have just with a simple half-mile walk. So we'll see if I get to that one or not. Another one is to have a fire. I have a fire pit in my backyard, which I'm sure you've seen in some of my other vlogs, but it's very rarely used. And I'd like to have a fire, have a couple friends over and make some s'mores, because I haven't done that in so long and it just sounds really good. Of course, decorate the house for fall, which you'll probably see very shortly coming up in a video. So those are my main activities. And then of course, you know, football will be in there because that's kicking in. But those are going to be like an entirely different series than fall stuff. It'll be like a football series that I'm going to do for you guys. And then I just want to talk a little bit about Christmas. So this is about the time I start thinking about Christmas and I start planning certain parts of Christmas for me. So for the month of August, like I already have my cards picked out from Amazon. I need to order them. And something I've learned over the past few years is that if you want something holiday related off of Amazon, you want to buy it like a month to 2 months prior to that holiday, because the prices are at their cheapest. If you wait until the month of, it'll like double in price. So I will probably order my Christmas cards here this week. And then also I like to try to get my budget plan laid out. And financially, what I do, I mean, I split it up. I save money throughout the year into a sinking fund for Christmas specifically. And I aim to save about $1,000. We're almost to where it's going to be filled up. But I need to write out like my actual budget of where that money is going to be broke down to. Like categories I try to think about is like obviously ordering cards, any decor I want. I like to refill my Starbucks gift card so I have money when we go into like fall and Christmas season, because that's when I tend to drink the most Starbucks because of the holiday drinks. Also how much I want to spend on gifts. I also plan baking because I do use some of my Christmas budget to buy all the ingredients for my actual Christmas baking, because that can get expensive and I like to plan ahead for that and be prepared. And then of course, if I have to ship any gifts home to my family that's in Michigan, I like to make sure I have that budgeted out as well. So those are the categories I need to think about and finish my budget. Then when we step into September, I will start planning my baking and ingredients that I need. So I usually sit down and write out like, okay, I plan to make these cookies, this, you know, and then what do I need for ingredients? How much do I have in the cupboard? Do I need to buy it? Do I already have it? You know, so I know exactly what I need to buy when baking time comes. And I also know how much I need and how much I'll be spending, because then I can write that into my budget because of the joy of Walmart online shopping. So I can throw it all in my cart. October is when at the very latest, I'm going to order any Christmas decor that I feel like I need to get. Sometimes if it's like something I'm going to get at Target, I can wait until like November to do that, because their prices aren't going to fluctuate like Amazon. But anything I want off of Amazon, I need to do in October at the latest. I also like to kind of start getting my Christmas shopping list around, like what I'm buying people. So like around this time, I start listening to what my friends and family are saying to me to have ideas of what gifts they do want, so I can actually start planning to buy those things that they really do want. And if I'm not mistaken, I believe October is also when the Christmas stamps come out at the USPS. And so I'll probably try to get those in October, so I have them to finish my Christmas cards. Beginning of November is when I start baking. Yes, I do start baking that early. A lot of the cookies that I do make, I can freeze, which is awesome. So I can bake them in November, throw them in the freezer, and when December rolls around, I can pull them out. I also get my cards ready to mail. Usually by Thanksgiving, I have them all filled out, addressed, stamped, and all I gotta do is stick them in the mailbox so they can go out right away. And then also the day after Thanksgiving is my tradition to decorate the whole house for Christmas. So that will be happening. And then in December, all I have to do is do any shopping that has to be done, mail my packages home, and just enjoy the season for the most part. When it comes to baking, the only thing that usually is left is any cookies that couldn't be frozen, which is very rare, but if there is something. And then my sugar cookies I will make in November, but I will pull them out and actually royal ice them and decorate them for Christmas in December, so that way they don't go bad, you know, too fast or stale before you get to give them out or eat them. So that's basically how I kind of format my Christmas planning season, so I'm not bombarded, because I used to wait until like right after Thanksgiving, and then I was so overwhelmed trying to get stuff done that I couldn't enjoy anything. It was just like, I had to get this done, have to get this done. So by doing it this way, I have things done. I'm saving myself money when you talk about like decor and ingredients and stuff like that. And then I also can just enjoy December, because there's really nothing left to do except ship my presents home or maybe wrap presents. You know, it's very minimal. So just wanted to talk about how I kind of format my Christmas planning season, and then also talk a little bit about the fall bucket list, seeing how this is coming up. So that's basically it. I do hope that you enjoyed this video. Maybe it gave you an idea for your bucket list, or maybe for you to kind of start thinking, hey, I need a plan for Christmas now instead of waiting till the last minute. But as always, I hope everybody enjoyed, and I hope you have a blessed day.